Phil6 looking like they're going for a gank up here top on the K-Pack. Not going to be able to get up on the W. Is going to flash in to get it off. Silence now coming through from you guys IRL into the fear. Do they have the damage to kill K-Pack? Yes, they do. First blood over to Frosty.
I think it was a little greedy from K-Pack. I think he just had to flash a bit earlier. At least make Ugragas burn the flash to CC down on him.
Yeah, definitely greeted, keeping the flash. Now has it for the next play, but unfortunately, Renekton able to pick up that first blood, able to crash in this wave. Probably going to lose a couple minions in the process, but this Renekton will be pretty strong coming off their reset here.
Zeph was able to get the top scuttle. A little bit in the jungle, but I don't want to give Frosty too many kills. Gonna run over that top.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to see, especially with that being kind of the counter pick into the Renekton. You don't want that to fall behind too far early. I mean, you can just kind of see this next laning phase gonna be rough for K-Pack. You know, you got the cloth armor and boots into a full phage on the other side. Gonna be a little rough, especially once Renekton's able to get that dominance. We do see Frosty just dash in there, but now we're back to bot lane.
I do wonder if Zeph will go for Dragon, because it won't be 6 here, and Trundle's a bit stronger still. We'll fit a 6 at 6, at least.
Yeah, definitely can take that Dragon relatively quickly too. You have the shove from your bot lane. I think it makes a lot of sense. Should actually be pretty close to level 6 off of the Drake as well, since they did get that double scuttle. We'll see if Zeph looks to force it. We do see Fiddlesticks looking to just go for a reset, actually. They're just playing for farm. As Rel getting super chunked out under tower, and Zeph is on that Dragon.
Got a couple minutes for grub, so where Ugragas is going. Dive top. Top it. Walk us up.
Yeah, interesting rush there by Ugragas going the Sork Shoes rush. Not really something you see like a ton in the jungle at the moment. But they're looking to force the issue. They're coming in here. They're gonna go on the Gnar, who has no rage bar. They are awfully chunked at about half HP. Renekton has to try to get this wave in here though to make this play happen. And now Trundle could be coming out here. Zeph coming in. We do see the dominance get popped there. Fiddlesticks going to take a tower shot. This is a little bit scuffed on the dive, and actually Frost's going to take up a couple tower shots there. It is going to be traded on the aggro there. Kill goes over to the Fiddlesticks. Has here. We see Zeph gets the pillar, not quite able to connect there onto Grass IRL. Fear is going to connect. Now Karma is going to get themselves caught out here a bit. Rel dismount, not going to connect. Q, not going to connect. Flash over the wall there for the Karma into the stun from Plutonium. And now I see the Weaver's Wall coming in from Papa Doge. THOC opting into this fight. Can they get anything going on their side? Trundle R gets popped onto the Renekton. And now Plutonium gets hit up by the pillar, by the side of the shot. And now a massive Fiddle R in onto the backside. And they're getting super chunked out here. Fiddlesticks picks up a kill. Rel picks up a kill. Rest of the carries have to try and get out. It's just the Karma and the Talia trying to work their way out here. Low health bars, but Frosty's looking to opt back into this play. Goes in, gets the kill onto the Karma. Potentially pillar, or not pillar, the shove going to buy time for Papa Doge. Now we're back to the bot side where the 80 carries are just going to wail on each other. Not going to see how that top lane plays out. It looks like the Talia and the Karma are able to get out. Can't quite get the snipe there on the rock. Rel just going to hit up on these grubs with the Fiddlesticks. Massive place here for Piggies in a blanket early.
Yeah, bit unfortunate for Zeph. Flashed not the best way. Wasn't able to get that kill. And
relatively big coming in under the tower. Frosty's gonna have to clear this out nice and quick. We are seeing the Fiddlesticks looking to R in, tanks the turret. Nothing that K-Pack can do. Killing spree here for Ugragas IRL, and that's gonna be multiple plates with these grubs going over to the side of Piggies in a blanket in exchange for this second dragon for THOC. This point to salvage it, at least on their own. It's going to take numbers, as stun is going to connect here onto Papa Doge, into the Syndra abilities, into the flash in, looking to get the solo kill. Can they get the damage? Yes, they can. Before K-Pack with no rage has full health, but they are getting ulted under the tower. The fear is going to connect there into the stun by the Renekton. Frosty just going to feast up here on the top side. Bot tower is going to fall here, and now the pillar into the Karma W is going to keep the root out, and despite the flash out from Isbis, they will eventually fall here over to Zeph, and now Terry has to run out, goes in, gets shredded here by the Trundle. Zeph having to walk out, takes a couple of tower shots. That's a lost chapter. I am not sure. I'm not sure what you Gragas IRL is doing here. But they are GM, so who am I to question? 5K on this Rift Trail. They're looking to just force this out here. They're looking to put up the Weaver's Wall and try to burst it out here. Trundle gonna get the kill there, and blue team is gonna go in with the Fiddle Arc, going to steal the Rift Herald, and this fight looks like it's gonna go all the way of THOC. Double flash out from the Rift Herald pit, and now Thigh High has to go with the E over the wall. Stun not gonna connect there from Plutonium, and now Frosty dashes in with the E, has nothing there, but they got the steal, and that's actually a flash in from Papa Doge, gets the flick back, but there's nothing else after the fact. Thigh High trying to get the damage off with the Ezreal, but end of the day, that is a Rift Herald picked up for the side of Piggies in a Blanket. 3 flashes and a dead Trundle flash in from Frosty onto Thigh High, who does not have the flash, or has to flash away rather. Papa Doge not here trying to peel as best they can. Karma gets the shielding off. Will it be enough? There is no turret. I don't see how they get out of this one. Plutonium's able to pick up that kill. Karma and Talia are low. They do not have a ton of health, and Fiddlesticks might just feast on both of them. We do see the shove going to stop the sucking from Fiddlesticks. Not going to be able to pick up the kills, but 9-1 goes your kill count. About 4K on that goal difference.
Yeah, it was potentially fightable, but they opted to just flash out.
Has to run out here, gets a little bit of poke off onto this Rel. Taking a look at your summoners across the board, not a whole lot of flashes on either side except for the Gnar, stacking up that rage on the dragon, and we do see Zeph. They are actually in the prio position to take this dragon, and it doesn't seem like Pigs in a Blanket feel super confident about walking in here, and this dragon will just go down to the side of THOC. So despite being down a mass amount of gold, you should not look to flip and just start the objective, in my opinion, of course, as Frosty's going to go in here, find something 1v2. Trundle's going to use the ult, hits the pillar. Do they get this kill? This will be a massive shutdown, and they are going to be able to give it over to Zeph. Massive amount of gold infusion there, and that could be the pick that they look to start this up. They're slowly working their way down the scoreboard here as Fiddlesticks R's in onto 2 members. The bot lane will crumble. Rampage here for you guys IRL. Flash forced out by Thigh High, but it does not matter.
Unfortunately, they were trying to get some... THOC was trying to get some vision. The bot lane was trying to get some vision while mid and jungle were backing, and top. Just getting picked out. Good pick out from you Gragas there. Securing the Otacon for Piggies.
Showing a little bit of proficiency on this Fiddlesticks. Weaver's Wall going to be used just for vision here. Not going to look to ride it. It is down to about 3,000 HP. Papa Doge is walking up here. I don't like their chances here. Blue team gonna pick that up. But Rel gets here with the fear into the queue. Into the are walking up here. Is only just getting started up, so they're not gonna be able to force this up before Fiddlesticks is here. They now have to find their way to navigate this team fight, as we do see Papa Doge teleporting back in. They are teleporting towards the bot lane. Rel Q not gonna connect. Thigh High trying to get off the poke they can. 7,000 on this dragon. Fiddlesticks is chunking it down nice and quickly. Rock's gonna put down. Plutonium goes in with that flash up here. I've seen this one before. Thigh High gets deleted. Flash in from Frosty onto this Gnar. Takes a lot of damage though. And now K-Pack is going in. Gets a good knock up against the wall. Gets 2 members here. But it is just a Rel. It's just a Fiddle. Red side goes in with the flash. Gets a steal onto the soul. You guys are now dominating though. And Zeph is now by themselves on the wrong side of the rift. All that is left is your Talia and your Karma trying to get the damage off onto the Silver. Barrier gets forced out here by Papa Doge on the Izbiz. And now they're running into the members of Piggies in a Blanket. This extended fight is going to go the way of PIB. You Grags IRL is godlike. They lose the soul.
Papa Doge flicking them into them. Not the best one, but doing a lot of damage out.
Yeah, I'm talking about damage. Plutonium.
Yeah, Plutonium had a great start to that fight, getting the double stun. Pretty sure one-shotting.
They are on 2 items. Gnar still working towards their second component here as Fiddlesticks R's in. No play to make. Magnustorm connects. Karma will be the first to fall. Zeph is tanky, but they are going to have to run this one out. And that is a big pick and a big force out from 2 other members. And now they are booking it towards this Baron.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of where not really having the tank or front line is hurting them. Not much they can do. Karma shield is just not enough to save everybody when the Fiddlesticks ult, so somebody's dropping.
Yeah, that's the downside to not picking a tank. You know, no one ever loves being put on that Sejuani duty. No one loves being put on that Ornn, but sometimes you just gotta suck it up for the team. As a Baron going to be sucked up here by this Fiddlesticks for a little bit of 6th sense here coming out from Plutonium. Pillar is going to connect, and Zeph is just deleted under the tower. Did not respect that. Elder going to be up here in a minute 30, short of a desperation flip.
What's try to flip it at Elder.
Fiddlesticks ults in, forcing out the flash from Talia. Good knockback, so they will survive, but this bot tier 2 will not. Gold lead up to about 10,000.
Syndra and caught out.
And now Silk getting caught out. Papa Doge caught out on the sideway trying to push. You cannot do that into this Fiddlesticks, into this Renekton. Papa Doge on the wrong side of the rift. They will go down. Sivir finally getting their first piece of kill this game. And the Elder is spawned. And I don't see a way that THOC can walk in here.
Yeah, they're just going to have to try to brute force it and hope, because otherwise, I mean, kind of losing slowly. But you see Plutonium already sitting in the bush and just looking for anybody. Karma.
Zeph walking up towards this top side. They're throwing out the True Shot Barrage, the Miracle Steal, but no, they're not even gonna look to try to get the steal here, and it is gonna be slain there by blue side. Plutonium will delete either of these squishy members if a stun connects. We could just look to kill this Karma here. Stun is gonna connect despite the flash. Rel goes in and deleting this Karma is Plutonium.
Bright side for THOC is that you Gragas and Plutonium losing their main champs.
True, and Plutonium losing their secondary on the Karma as mid tier 3 is gonna fall. Frosty goes in 1v4, likes their odds there, and now the flash in from everybody on the side of Piggies in a Blanket. Legendary goes Plutonium, and Zeph dies to the Sivir. All that is left is K-Pack and Thigh High, but this damage is not gonna be enough to stop this 5-man unit on the side of Piggies in a Blanket. They are gonna march towards these Nexus towers. Ult in from the Fiddlesticks. We see the Trundle has disconnected. Karma is back up 5-on-3. Fiddlesticks is low. These towers are falling, and despite the best effort here from THOC trying to get the damage off on to the Syndra, Ezreal cannot get the kill. Gets the fade away, and that is game number 1 to blue side. Piggies in a Blanket.
It's just some stuff you haven't bought.
Hook gonna connect here onto the Kaisa. Immediate W out here for Huracan with Thigh High gets super low, flashing from Terry, gonna pick up that first blood, and now Graves is here as well. There's nowhere for this Rakan to go, has no W, might have to flash out, does use the flash dash right back out. Hook not gonna land here, and we do see Zeph here on this gank onto Frosty. It is kind of an isolated play here as Frosty goes in with a dash, leap out, forcing out the flash of the Kazakhs, followed through by the Yone. First blood, or not first blood, but a 1. Yeah, early dragons are the name of the game right now. It looks like it will be picked up here by the Rakan, but now we see a fight on the bot side. W gonna connect there onto I'm Dyslexic, gets the root off onto the Rakan. It is gonna be a 3v4. Taunt gonna connect here onto the Kazakhs, despite the leap actually gonna get them out here. I'm not sure how they didn't connect there. Nautilus is going in deep. Galliard coming in over the top. Rakan going to get interrupted here, and that's going to be the Feast of Warfare. Eventually over to the side of Piggies in a Blanket. The question is, are there any more kills to come out here? We're now back to the top side.
If just going to be zoning out on bot. Maybe I could dodge.
Maybe a gank attempt here coming out onto Frosty by Zeph, and they see it. The Ornhorn comes out here. Reinforcements are here. Yone R gets used, going to dodge away from the knockup, and now the Q3 going to get them out. Zeph is on the wrong side of the rift, going to try and trade a kill in response, not going to be able to pick it up. Frosty gets that kill, and Papa Doge is here, but it's too little too late. 4-1 in favor of Pigs in a Blanket.
Yeah, kind of like we talked about earlier, you know, Ornn, Cassiopeia can't really help much for the Kazakhs when Kazakhs wants to be aggressive early. And especially when you're, they already... Piggies brought up their support, and they moved their bot up to mid, and they just getting free play spot. Then unfortunate.
Yeah, really good early game here for Piggies in a Blanket. A little bit different than last time where we saw the early gold advantage was on the side of THOC. Plutonium not going to look to stick around here too hard. But yeah, 1.5K gold lead here, just about 10 minutes into the game. Yeah, I need this Kazakhs. You knew they were on the grubs, which is a little bit aggressive of a play for sure. A little bit of damage off onto this Nautilus, who's big chillin'.
Yep.
Good interrupt there by Dangerously White, but gonna get the double taunt off. Nautilus walks up, getting a little passive off just for fun. The quickness does get used there by the Rakan, gets onto both members, but there's not really enough damage to kill these tanky members. Or I say that, and Thigh High kind of wailing on Plutonium a little bit. Hook gonna connect here onto the Rakan, and now gets hit up by the tower.
Great, but they definitely need to THOC just needs to slow down the game.
Yeah, actually, Rakan maybe caught out on the wrong side of the rift, has no W, gonna take so much damage. The R gonna get used there by Frosty. Dragon will go over to the side of Piggies in a Blanket, and that Ocean Drake, one of those.
Wait till Cassiopeia gets a couple items.
Galio gonna get interrupted here. Quickness does get used, does have the flash taunt, gonna be used up there. Hits up on multiple members. Now the Rakan stuck in a tough spot. Nautilus getting multiple CC off. Kazakhs is here, and we do see Zeph now having to try and run this one out. Disconnect up on the top side. but they are in an active fight, so they cannot look to pause. We do see Papa Doge is now here. Rakan does connect there just onto the Graves. So much damage comes through, forcing out the flash from Thigh High, and now Zeph goes back in, forcing out the flash back out, and Graves is one tap. Can they get the kill here? Galio gets in with the flash, with the taunt. That is a kill onto Zeph, and we do see Graves go down, flash out from the Rakan. Papa Doge now in a 1-on-3, gets it up there. Ziggs picks up that kill, and now Thigh High trying to do what they can over the wall, forcing out the flash. Is not going to connect there on Izbiz. 2 for 1 onto K-Pack here. So maybe look to crash out this wave and maybe take a little bit of attacks. And now maybe they're looking for a dive here. R gets used up onto the Ornn, taking a lot of damage here. Horn gets used, trying to get out as best they can. They do actually interrupt the Graves, who takes multiple tower shots. K-Pack with the outplay under the tower. 2 for 1. What
2 were
is
down.
that?
Look for Rift, and they're still looking.
Yeah, they are looking. Hook now connects. Nautilus up by themselves, though they may fall. Can they get the damage off in the end? Ornn gonna try and go in. Fade away, W from Thigh High, gonna pick up that kill, and that is a shutdown over to this Kaisa. This gold lead slowly starting to shrink, and we do see Plutonium is roaming up, does have the ultimate, does not have a teleport. Rift Herald is started up here. Horn at about 75% here. Not sure it's gonna be up. Thigh High is super low here though, and the dash in. Galio R does now get used here. Not gonna be able to get out is the Rakan. Zeph has to dash away, and now that means that Rift Herald should just go over to Piggies in a blanket.
Papa Doge is there with all, but yep, they just need to wait for Papa Doge coming, fortunately. Maybe could have fought like a... You should get the Rift Herald.
And now Galio maybe looking to aggress on Cass, not going to opt into it. Not going to fall, but it gets awfully close as your dragon is now up there on that bot side. It is going to be...
We're going to start getting those upgrades in.
Yep, probably around that next dragon. You'll Papa Doge maybe getting caught out here. You guys IRL popping that Ghost Blade 1-on-3 for this Cassiopeia. Not loving their odds here. Galio goes in, gets the double ult onto the tanks, flashes out, but it's not going to be enough as the fadeaway ultimate onto this cast by the Graves, and now we see a play in the top side and the mid side. Zeph trying to kill Frosty here, gets a lot of damage off, but will it be enough to finish the kill? Ornhorn gets used here. Flash in from Zeph, gonna pick up the kill.
Done, and good trade when your mid's dropping down the bot side. K-Pack.
Now you guys walking in, going to fight one-on-one with K-Pack. I doubted them before. I won't doubt them here again. Gonna fight to the death. It may be to the death. Q gonna get sidestepped, not full damage. You guys are out now on a... And maybe gonna see Frosty get caught out here by Zeph. Gonna find themselves in another 1-on-2, but they are opting in with the ultimate. Gets the Q3 onto 2 members. Flashes in, not gonna get the kill onto Zeph, and it's gonna be eventually picked up there by Thigh High. Hunting for their prey, and that prey might be dangerously white here. Walks into the E, into the taunt, into the hook, into the grave. Killed there by Graves, and that could be Atacon started up here.
Yep. Definitely should be. They're just gonna try something funny, but shouldn't. Kind of hard. Although they didn't ward it out. Although Terry missed both. Oh no, I think he got one.
Yep. Atacon down to about 3,000 HP here. No real contest from the side of THOC. Kha'Zix's in a bit of an odd spot here. Gonna get spotted out here eventually by you guys IRL. Now we're going to the panning to it, and this could be a good shutdown here, forcing out the flash. You guys are over the wall. Kha'Zix though gets outplayed, forcing out the flash, and now not with the
THOC too. Kind of quickly getting out of hand. Another tower. Kind of quickly snowballing. Unless Frosty gets caught out, probably in a little bit of a full state. Unless they want to shove mid for the mid tower. Forcing.
Flash in there by Rakan. Now we've got a full-blown fight. Bounties are on the table. Rakan gonna be the first to fall here. Tower close to falling. Thigh High is stuck on the wrong side of the rift. They're gonna fall. Rakan or Yone goes in, gets up onto Papa Doge. Massive ultimate, gonna buy a lot of time here. But the flash in from Galio into the taunt, gonna connect there just onto nobody. A little bit of a sidestep. K-Pack will eventually fall here as everyone is going in on that Plutonium. Gonna take up a lot of damage from this Galio and wins the one-on-one, likely against this assassin. Taunt gonna connect into the passive, into the kill. Papa Doge, last one left standing against you guys IRL. Gonna pick up that kill. That is an ace. 5-0 in favor of Piggies in a blanket.
Yeah. I think Rakan went in thinking that the tower is gonna get one shot, but then they stopped hitting the tower, so the tower still standing, was just hitting the whole time. And the Piggies were able to get there in time. Now dangerously in trouble.
Dangerously is in a pretty bad spot, uses W to get away, but they are running towards the enemy base. I don't see how they get out of this one. They're setting up some vision for the Baron, I suppose, and they are just going to get left up back towards this Baron, and they're just going to go over, and with Zeph running out onto the map, this might just be a free objective for Piggies in a Blanket. Zeph is booking it. It's down to 7,000, 6,000. Zeph gonna have to look for a 50-50. Taunt is not there. 3K on this Baron. They're not gonna be able to get in. It will just be picked up by the side of Piggies in a Blanket. Zeph goes down. Thigh High will go down eventually. Maybe not. K-Pack might die for their sins. Gets to about a third HP, and this Ornn is tanky. Will eventually get out somehow. Time and time again, this guy gets out with this sliver of HP.
Maybe not.
But the flash in from Ukaris IRL will eventually pick it up. Legendary on this Graves. And now it is 3 members versus 5 as this mid inhibitor is already down. Papado is going to try and do the damage that they can. They're getting a decent amount off onto this Graves. But this Galio is here. Hook there. Going to connect. Rakan gets a solo kill on the Rakan. In air quotes, Papado is trying to damage this Galio. Towers have fallen. Nexus will be the next to fall. And despite Papados trying to do what they can, they are going to have their KDA affected here just a little bit potentially. Yes, they are going to fall just before this Nexus falls, and that is 2-0 in favor of Piggies in a Blanket.
That's big for them.